I say for the best to last because I really love this. This blew my socks off.
Cmd+AI.
So Anthropic has just launched computer use. Research preview, again, they seem to be tiptoeing around this for Claude Pro and Mac subscribers only on Mac OS. Letting Claude move the cursor, click, type, complete forms, all autonomously. You can even assign them from your remote control, and that's exactly what we're going to do.
Basically, your Claude can now use your computer, and with your phone, you can use your Claude. So you basically, with your phone, you're controlling your agent that spins off more agents to do stuff on your computer at the same time.
Let's separate the two right now because there's two things we're talking about. Computer use is something that you can do through the Claude desktop app. Computer use, this is what we're talking about. But maybe last week they also launched Dispatch, which allows you to message Claude Desktop and tell it to do something. You could use Claude Desktop last week and tell it to do something, but you didn't have access to computer use. But these two little puppies are a match made in heaven for just sending stuff off. So I've got Claude open here, and I've got my OpenClaw over there, and I was going to say something like open Final Cut Pro, render the video that opens, mark the Notion video database as edited, and text me that you've finished editing it. Let's see what happens there. See if it can understand. I'm hoping that turns on so you can see it in the background light up. So yes, so now it's asking for Final Cut Pro permission. I was hoping that would light up, but there we go. So it's asking for Final Cut Pro permission. Even better. Right, I'm gonna go get it. Hang on. Stay here. Stay here.
Yeah, the dramatic effect. Okay. Oh, it's doing things. Because I'm so excited that the computer is doing something.
So I can confirm that it's rendering. There's a little icon at the top there. I didn't know what video was going to pop up. So I just said
render. Yeah.
So I could have probably told it which video to render actually, because I've got, if anyone knows anything about Final Cut, all of my projects are down the left-hand side there. So I could tell it, but I just told it to render the first video.
So until this renders,
so finished. So we're finished. Yep, we're done. Now it's hopefully it's going to open up Notion, and it's okay. So this is what we're going to get into. So there is a sequence of things that it will do, right? Because this is not efficient. You got to think this is sending off screenshots to Anthropic, and then taking action every 30 seconds or 15 seconds or whatever. So now allow Claude to use Notion update page. So this is fallback number 1.
What happened?
Because it's not saying anything on my phone, so I'm just going to click.
So just say continue.
But in the future, this should pop up on this will pop up on my phone, so it's going to do that. So the first fallback is going to see if it can do it through any of the connectors that Claude has access to. I have access to Notion, the connector. If it can't do that, then it's going to go to your browser. It's going to go to Claude Chrome extension. Oh, did you hear that? That sounds like a text message. If we look here, Claudia Shaw, edited, done. And then let's see where that text message went to. Because I'm going to explain something. See that bottom one? See how there's 2 there? This is the problem. This is a new feature that got released just the other day, plugins, that it can use iMessage, which, as you said, it's against terms of service.
It does it on your PC, on your laptop?
It does it on my laptop. So it does it on my laptop. The issue here, you can see that it needs to message yourself. So the blue message is me messaging, and then the gray is me receiving it. So I've been using it. Every single message is doubled up There's where it failed, so that's
Yeah.
fine. But you've got the blue, and then you've got the gray.
Yeah.
So that's the problem with
it.
that.
It is annoying.
They'll fix that. All the whatever. So I don't get the excitement around the iMessage thing, unless I'm doing something wrong there. You let me know if I'm doing something wrong. But I don't get the excitement about the iMessage integration that they launched yesterday. However, how fucking cool was that?
Yeah, that's really cool. Like I've been using Dispatch all week.
Yeah.
Like since they announced it, I was like, holy shit. And then computer use, these two go so good hand in hand.
The reason why you might dispatch is one, which is the thing I was talking about that I was building, which is an MCP. MCP, I can't use an MCP on Claude app on my phone. However, if I dispatch it where a MCP is running on my computer, then that's a good reason to use Dispatch. That's why I love Dispatch. So you can do, if you can use a skill, or if you can use if you can use a skill, you can just use normal Claude. But you get so much. You can get that's how you get computer use from away from your computer. Use that. But don't get me wrong, you can use computer use on the main machine that you're on. You just might find it a bit annoying that it's got this orange border around you, and it's also interfering with it's obviously sending a screenshot of your screen off to Anthropic to make its next action. So, which is why I was like OpenClaw when OpenClaw got released, and everyone was talking about Mac Minis. I'm like, you do not need a Mac Mini for OpenClaw. It doesn't need all of that power. It doesn't need, unless you're running local models. That, I think I'll be making a video next week how I replaced OpenClaw with Claude Code. Finally, like actually, like not just like a whatever. The only thing that I've forgotten if we spoke about this in the intro or not. The only thing that I really want is scheduled tasks are a massive thing in OpenClaw, and this was what my whole video about this feature was on my channel. Is scheduling and having tasks just run automatically. There is a scheduled task. We have an AI producing this podcast, right? This podcast is produced by AI. I don't think we talk about it enough. I get a message every 3 times a day about articles that the AI thinks that we should include on the week's episode, and then it goes through a whole Notion thing. But what happens is that we received during this episode, so I probably need to tweak that a little bit and say don't bother on a Friday afternoon. But I don't know whether you can see this, but those are messages, and then I respond and say include article 1, include article 2, or whatever. That interaction, that back and forth, is something that I cannot do with Claude Schedule and Claude Code. Like a schedule will run and it's run on that machine and I won't know a thing about it. Or if it's run on my main machine, the thing I'm looking at right now, I might see a notification at the top right of the page to tell me that a schedule has run. But there's something quite nice. If the Claude app can notify me on my phone, and then I can jump in and start messaging it and say, give me article 113. That's the sweet spot. The Claude is trained to avoid, this is interesting, engaging in stock and trading or investment transactions, inputting sensitive data, and gathering or scraping facial images, which is interesting because it needs to see that it's a facial image, or it needs to see that it's a stock trading platform before it's going to choose not to engage with it. So you've already sent off your sensitive stuff to Claude, and before it's even decided whether it's not going to do it. What to avoid: managing financial accounts or investments, handling legal documents or contracts, processing medical or health information, interacting with apps containing personal information. I think this goes without saying. However, one of the most boring, laborious tasks that I have to do on a weekly basis is to go through all my emails, download invoices, and then link them to transactions in my accountancy app, which I found out today, Kabaza doesn't have. Well, you do. It's just this fragmented system across many platforms. But you still have to put receipts next to purchases, right? There is an app that you do that, and that's just such a boring task for me. It's not like I have tons of, but it's just it gets to a point where I've got like tens of them to go through. I'm just like,
I have an assistant to do that. Like I have an actual assistant, a teammate. She goes through all my accounts, downloads everything, and if she doesn't have an access to an account, like there are a few that I have access, like Amazon, AWS, and stuff like that. She asks me to give her the invoice, and it's so annoying.
So you go to settings, command, comma, and it's down here under desktop, general desktop app. And then this should be enable you to click. It was a weird one. I showed you exactly what was happening.
Browser use and computer use.
Nothing was down here, and I selected browser use and whatever, and I was like, where's this computer use that everyone's seeing? But I just made sure I updated and restarted, and then computer use is here, and you turn it on and grant access, and then you can even deny it certain apps. So yeah, get started. This is part of a larger conversation on my show, Cmd+AI, which we stream live every single week. We discuss the news and all things related to AI in the world of design and web. Catch us next week and join in the banter.
Cmd+AI.